Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Izundu if you haven't been here before, and if you have, welcome back. Today I'm just doing a bit of a get ready with me, have a chat, talk about some topics while using some of my Shop My Stash / new products. I'll have everything listed down below, but some things that we're using is the Infallible Fresh Wear, which is new to me. The Nars Laguna Bronzer, the cream, the Nars Orgasm. So these are just things that I've had in my Shop My Stash for the fortnight, and I'm testing them, playing with them, and enjoying myself. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe. I do Get Readies with Me, Project Pan. If you're Australian, I do a new makeup in Australia every fortnight, Shop My Stash, all those kinds of things. And like this video if you enjoy it along the way. I've done my eyebrows. I actually do my eyebrows. I never do that. I did my eyebrows first. I put some eye primer on. I just use the Rimmel Magnifies. And today we're actually going to use my eyeshadow singles, which I never use. And there's no reason why I don't use them. It's just more, I'm very simple-minded and I see a palette and I pick it. So we're gonna focus on the Sydney Grace. And then we have some Enchanted Luster over here, which is an Australian indie brand on Etsy. So they have really beautiful shimmers, as you can see. And then we've got a mixture of shimmers and mattes over here. So I'm going a little bit more cool toned today. I actually brought my Project Pan palette because there's not really a proper transition shade that I want over there. So I'm gonna use my transition shade here. This is the Rose in the Air from Wet n Wild. So Sydney, or Greater Sydney I should say, extended the lockdown by another week. So I'm in week 2 of 3. All I've really done is go to Coles to get food and take my daughter to daycare because daycare is still open. And I decided to take her even though I'm not working because it's good routine for her. I think I would go stir crazy as well. We don't enter the premises, we wear a mask on arrival, things like that. Like, it's very strict. And I feel like she's safe there. I don't feel like it's unsafe. And mummy needs a break. But what we had planned was a little getaway for 2 nights in the city. So I live in Sydney, but I live in the suburbs. Which is I'm not far from the city, but I never go to the city because you have to get a train, and what am I going to the city for, you know? I'm not going out anymore. So Vinny and we're taking Ivy because it's 2 nights. We don't have anyone to look after her for 2 nights. We're staying in a really nice hotel. There's this website in Australia called Luxury Escapes, and they give really good deals for really nice luxury hotels and hotspots, places like that. We booked it for this Friday. Well, lockdown happened. I think I'm gonna do a very dark smoky look up here with maybe a pop of color. We'll see how we go, but I'm gonna go in with this charcoaly color here. I should tell you the shade. This is Sydney Grace to the Nines matte. Anyway, so we had to change it. So I was like, oh, I'll just change it till the next day because lockdown ends on Friday. I'll change it to Saturday. Did that, all good. I mean, you guys don't really know, but we're not the type of people that will go and do 1,000 things anyway. When we're paying for a hotel, we want to experience the hotel. I mean, I'd go for like walks and things, but we're not one of these people that will go and do 1,000 things during COVID as well. So we'd still be safe even when we go, even when lockdown's over. Not that I have to justify myself, but just so you know, that's pretty, that blended super easy. And then good old Gladys, she, look, the pandemic, the numbers were not going down. People were having illegal parties and spreading the virus, which is really fun for the people who are trying to be sensible. And also the people who have to close their businesses during this time because someone wanted to have a party. Super annoying. Not even annoying, it's very disrespectful to people who are literally losing work over this and money. The New South Wales Premier decided to extend it for another whole week. So 3 weeks in total. I highly doubt they'll do another week because people are getting real big mad now. It's, you know, I feel sorry for these businesses. I can understand strict restrictions. I really do. But 3 weeks is long. 3 weeks is a long time to be in lockdown. Anyway, so I changed the booking again. It's the following week, like a week and a half away from now, basically. And because it was all booking out, because people have to keep changing their dates, it was limited. So I have to go on a Sunday night and Vinny has to take 2 days off work, which is not ideal, but that was our option, which is annoying because then we will lose money because Vinny's not working. People are going through it much worse than me having to reorganize a staycay in a hotel. Okay, what do we do? I don't know what to do. Should I just go like full grey? Maybe I should. Let me get this kind of flat brush and I'm gonna go in with the grey. I'm tempted to use the green, but I know my lip color is really dark, so maybe I don't. Maybe I wanna just keep it like a grey. And this grey tone color is called Success and it is a matte from Sydney Grace. So we're just gonna go in here and we're gonna do a bit of a Morticia look, which is cool. I haven't done that in a while. And I will probably use that black as well. I just wanna get this on first. See, that's a good pigmented grey. And I have no fallout, absolutely none. So that's my update. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. So we're playing with makeup. Sound fun? I mean, it is fun to me. I love playing with makeup. After this video, I think I'm gonna put it up first. I'm doing the perfect makeup tag that, is it Patty Alonso and Morgan Turner created? And I really liked it. So I'm gonna do that after this. And I'm pretty sure that that video will go up first. So I will link it for you in the cards if you're interested in seeing that. And that is all, there's questions like perfect primer base, perfect blurring powder. So they are quite specific. It's not just like perfect foundation. It's like perfect coverage concealer, things like that. And there were ones that I wanted to pick, but they were still too brand new for me to be like, I can't have a strong opinion on that. So I'm going in with the black, which is called Tuxedo. There you go. And that is a black matte. I don't know if I want to do a shimmer or should I just leave it like this? I always wear a shimmer because there's a really pretty silver shimmer there. I wish you guys would tell me what to do. If this were live, I would take your advice. But alas, it's not. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, it's not an original topic, but brands that disappear, and my opinion as to why they disappear. Not just bashing brands. This is not about me bashing brands at all, but more of like a deep dive into why I think brands disappear, or brands that disappear and then they try and come back, but it just doesn't quite work. So there are brands that are really trying to come back at the moment that just are struggling. And that doesn't mean that they won't ever come back, because it only takes one product to get back on the map. Before I get into it, I have this shimmer called Glitz and Glamour from Sydney Grace. Well, it's got a bit of a silvery purple tone to it. Oh my God. I'm going to leave it for now, and then we're gonna finish my face, and then I'm gonna decide if I wanna add that in, because it's very pretty. Let's go into my primer. This is my Project Pan primer from The Ordinary, the High Adherence Silicone Primer. And this is just gonna be nice and smoothing. The first brand I wanna talk about is the brand of the moment that everyone's talking about, which is Becca. And I'll be honest, I was surprised to hear that they're closing, but then I really thought about it and I was like, actually, what is the product that makes a company, that puts a company on the map? And for Becca, it was their highlighters. Now, if we look at their highlighters, they've tried to bring out other highlighters, but they're always limited edition, or they're very difficult color to sell, like a deep pinky shade, peachy shade they had that a lot of people don't go for. A lot of people like more of a skin toned highlighter. And I was thinking, apart from their originals, they don't really bring out exciting new highlighters, whether that be formulas, textures, so like creams or liquids. They haven't been marketing or profiting off what put them on the map. And I think using my Eco Tool sponge and my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear in number 20 Ivory. And in my opinion, I think that's why they struggled. Then they tried to money grab with that zero pigment line, which was just an overpriced primer. I never understand why they did that. I think they did it because they knew that they were disappearing and they wanted something to wow people. But at the same time, people can tell when something's authentic or not. And that seemed very inauthentic. Inauthentic? Unauthentic. Unauthentic, I think. And very much like a gimmick. And if you're gonna charge whatever the price was from $40 to $60 for this primer, I'm gonna call it a primer because in my opinion, that's what it was, then people don't wanna spend that kind of money on something gimmicky. If they're gonna spend money on something gimmicky, it's gonna be like $10, you know? And I think that's why certain brands like Makeup Revolution still do really well, because people don't mind wasting their money on a smaller priced item if it's a little bit gimmicky or like they know that it'll go out of trend soon. Whereas when it's a higher priced brand, people don't want to spend all that much money on a gimmick. So that was one of their first mistakes, I think, is they were letting people know that they were a little bit desperate by coming out with something that had nothing to do that aligned with their brand's values and image. I'd love to know what you guys think about the whole Becca situation and as to why you think they have struggled so much and are closing. My opinion is that they were not sticking to what they were good at. They tried eyeshadows and they were a fail. They tried complexion and that was a fail. What they were really good at was powder, so bronzers, blushes, highlights. And I just felt like they were not sticking to what they were good at and profiting off of that. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna go in with my concealer, which is the Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer in Swan. And I think they could have come out with like a nudes range for their highlighters, like every skin toned highlighter range. I should have been on the production team, on the marketing team. Is that what you call it, marketing? Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they were trying so hard to be cool and trendy without actually looking at themselves as a brand and what they bring to the table and what people go to Becca for. I love their highlighters. I've gone through a mini of theirs. I think it was Moonstone, and that was before I got into makeup, and I was obsessed with it. So I had like my one highlighter, so of course I finished it, and I just thought it was the bee's knees, and that was when I was starting to take an interest in makeup. So I was still quite novice, and I didn't know a lot about brands, but I knew about Becca highlighters. So it's just quite interesting to me that what they've tried to do, even when they did collabs, apart from Jaclyn Hill, they didn't hit the mark. I think they were trying to be like a brand like Urban Decay, like trying to be really edgy, but that's not their brand. Their brand is a little bit more glamorous, if you ask me, a little bit more everyday woman as well, that wants a little bit of glitz. And I feel like they were trying to be something else with their limited edition releases, their full coverage makeup. Then they went to the opposite and did no coverage makeup. Like there was no medium level. So yeah, anyway, that's my opinion as to why I think if they invested more time and energy and money into what put them on the map and reinvented that, I think we'd still have a brand. One of my favorite products is the Under Eye Corrector. I think it is phenomenal. A lot of people don't like it, but for my fair skin, it is. I forgot to use it again. I always forget to use it. I did this in my last Get Ready With Me. I forgot to use this. I'm the worst. I just think certain products that they had were phenomenal. What if they extended the shade range of this? You know, work off what is already good. Don't reinvent the wheel. What do they say? Don't try and reinvent the wheel, but improve it. I don't know, that's not it, but you know what I mean. So now I'm going to go in with my Laguna bronzer cream that I'm obsessed with, and it's called Sunkist bronzing cream, and I just love it. I particularly love it with a sponge, and the Laguna tone is my perfect tone. I love, it's warm but not too warm, a little bit neutral but not red. Oh, it's just perfection if you ask me. You know how sometimes brands, and I'm not just talking about makeup brands, they say they're gonna close and then everyone buys their stuff and they're like, oh, we're gonna stay open now because we made all that money from telling you we were gonna close. So I would not be totally shocked if everyone's being mass buying from Becca and they make a miraculous comeback. Watch this space. Sometimes companies who are doing bad use this as a marketing tool. I've seen it done before. I mean, if it did, then great, because people don't want Becca to go away, but it will make people salty. That's for sure. It's like, you said you were leaving the party and then you stayed and got really drunk and never left. You know what I mean? I've got my little mini by Terry Hydra Powder that I'm trying to finish. I have not got much left. Can you see that? Or is it focusing on my face? Yeah, there we go. But that still will take me a while. I hate the packaging of this thing. When I finish this, I want to buy the pink full-size one because it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's so pretty. I feel like this is not the outfit for the makeup that I'm doing, and I do apologize. I look like such a dag. I literally just took Ivy to school, came back, had some breakfast. I didn't even check myself. I brushed my hair. Oh, is that better? Do I look a tiny bit more professional? Probably not. Probably not. Right, so let's move on to the bronzer. Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty. I can never pronounce it. Glowish. I have the shade Light Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder, and I'm loving the light shade. Sometimes the light shade is super yellow from other brands, but this one is beautiful and neutral, and I am loving it because when something's too yellow, it doesn't look that good on fair skin, guys. Bit of feedback. Most people have fair skin and neutral or pink. There are, of course, people with yellow undertones, but few and far between. Can I get an amen? Yeah, this is a beautiful bronzer. I'm loving it. I've worn it without the bronzing cream as well underneath, because I have been doing that lately because I think it's a perfect duo. But I've been loving it. It's not overly pigmented. It's something that you definitely want to build up or do proper swirly swirls. But I like that. That's what I like in a bronzer. And a lot of bronzers are too pigmented. You hear me? If you're a brand, you're too pigmented. Take it down a notch. We are going in with my current obsession, the Nars Orgasm Blush palette. They are a baked gelée. And I'm gonna use this as a highlighter as well. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna do it. In my last video, I accidentally, it's this brush here, I haven't actually used it. I accidentally went in with this when I wanted this one. So this time I'm intentionally gonna go in with this. And you don't need a lot. I use my Refa brushes for these products because it's real hair, animal hair, therefore picks up the product nicely. I've got a very unpopular opinion, guys. I love the Orgasm Blush. Not just this one, but like in general. I think it's great on my skin tone. And yes, it's their #1 seller, but it's their #1 seller for people who don't really wear makeup. People who wear makeup, like makeup enthusiasts, don't rate Orgasm. But you know what? Don't tell anyone, but I think it's pretty good. I like the bit of shimmer with the peachy and the pink. Okay, I'm going off topic. I'm focusing too much on my makeup and not talking about my topic. Focus. I'm going to do highlighter with the same brush. Okay, I'm gonna use Turtle Bay. So another brand I wanted to talk about who has not closing but trying to make a comeback is a brand that I've actually never tried. And that's mainly because it's a very American brand and has been hard for Australians to access. But I want to talk about it from an outsider's perspective. I'm not talking about their quality, I'm just talking about their journey. And that is Lorac. So Lorac is now available at Beauty Bay, but before that I don't think Australians could access the brand. I think it was very much an American brand. Anyway, so how beautiful is this highlight? It's just gorgeous. Lorac. Lorac, I should say. So they were a big, popular, huge brand known for their eyeshadows, am I correct? Back in the day, and I've heard that people still rate their eyeshadows, like they're still great formula even with their new products that they've brought in. However, you know, I was talking about how Becca should profit off what they're good at. I think Lorac only does that, and to the point where there's no innovation, there's nothing different about them, and so every time they bring out a new eyeshadow palette, it's just like the one before it. And yes, good quality, but good quality isn't enough these days. You've got to be innovative and you've got to be thinking of new, exciting products. Like, you know what? This is an existing product that they turned into a cream. I am mind blown. You know what I mean? It's not like they've done something crazy. Orgasm Palette. How many times do we complain that this is like, they're killing it with a dead horse? They're flogging it like, they're flogging a dead horse. Oh my God. But the product is amazing, and they've only put in one orgasm shade, and then they've put in all these beautiful, innovative formula and shades in it. It's not exactly what you're doing, but it's getting people excited. I think that is what the beauty industry is all about, is getting people excited. And because there's a million products, and reality is a lot of them aren't that different. I'm going to go back into this palette, and with the black shade, I'm going to do a bit of a tight line situation. And so I feel like with Lorac, they're just a little bit too boring in that they're trying to make a comeback and bring out all these new eyeshadow palettes, but I couldn't tell you the difference between them. Like, I've seen them, but I don't think they look any different or innovative. You know what they need to do? They need to do a collab with someone. It's one of those brands that don't do PR. I mean, they don't have to. I'm not saying that brands have to do that. But they don't really do PR. They don't really do collabs. And the brands that do that are the ones that are alive and hot pop happening. Because it keeps them relevant. It keeps them in social media. It gains them new followers that they wouldn't have had before. So it is a very strong marketing tool. So brands that don't do that, I believe, do fall behind. But that is not me saying that that's exactly what every brand should do. Because I know not every brand can afford to do that. But Lorac's a pretty big brand, right? So yeah, let me know what you think about Lorac as well, especially if you're American and someone that has tried the products, has access to the products, what you think about that. Because I think that is a good quality brand, but just not meeting the high standards in a marketing sense and an innovative sense. I've always wanted to try Lorac. However, I've never bitten the bullet to buy it because I don't think people really want to see that. I don't think that's something people want to see on my channel, so I don't bother. I feel like if I didn't do YouTube, but I loved makeup, so say I was still me and hoarded makeup and bought lots of makeup, but I didn't do videos, I reckon I probably would try one of the palettes. But I do get to a point these days where I do buy things now, what I want, of course, but also I do consider what people would want to see on videos as well. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my shadow look. I could always go, I'm definitely going to put this in my inner corner, which is just an Urban Decay that I depotted, so it's not even available, so don't even ask. But it's a nice iridescent white. And I'm not going to do any under. I like not doing any under. It kind of lifts my hooded eyes a bit every so often, especially because I'm going a little bit more classic, and I'm going to do a very bold lip. So I think I should leave it. As gorgeous as this is, I think I'm gonna leave it. All right, I'm gonna do my mascara off camera. Okay, I just used my Project Pan Rimmel Lash Accelerator. It's starting to get low, which is exciting. And we're gonna go with my lip liner, which is the Lime Crime Velveteen Lip Liner in Fangs. Lovely. And my lipstick is from Kosas. It is the Dark Room shade. And people do not know how good quality Kosas lipsticks are. Oh my God, they're so good. They're really pigmented, they're really creamy, and they last really well on the lips. Oh my God, that's like a perfect shade to that lip liner. Amazing. And they're so nourishing on the lips. They do not dry your lips out in the slightest. They feel so good. That's nice. Yeah, I think I'm glad I kept it matte. Looking very vampy today. Should I take this off? Hey. All right, so I don't have any setting spray. I've got powder on. That's sufficient for my dry skin. That is everything. Let me know your thoughts down below of products I've been using, topics I've been talking about, la-di-da-di-da. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.